KGO 6 News in the morning.
Good morning. Hey, thank you so much for waking up with us on this Thursday. I'm Heather Myers.
And I'm Mark Bailey.
We begin this hour with a developing story. Police are investigating a string of arson fires in City Heights. Investigators are trying to determine how a family car veered off the road right into the Los Angeles harbor. Sadly, a 13-year-old boy has died and his 8-year-old brother is now fighting for his life. A developing story. Police are searching for a man they say stabbed a Chula Vista man to death and then took off to Mexico. They believe he may have left a blood trail behind him after walking more than 8 miles over the border. Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help in finding a Fallbrook man who went missing Easter Sunday. Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine helped make a 10-year-old superfan's dreams come true this week. There is one word out there that you can say to someone that can change their day, brighten their mood, inspire them to work harder, help them build confidence. So what is that word? It's as simple as thanks. There's a growing number of people, millions in fact, who get injections like fillers and Botox, all in an effort to look young. But some women and men prefer not to be poked with needles. Arnetta Iranpour is taking a look at some alternatives to get that youthful glow as we age. Okay, this is just mean. We go from telling you about diets to telling you about this. A new Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin-Robbins combo store is now open for business in Ramona. San Diego 6's Renee Cohn is live at Petco Park with what's new at the park and what you can expect if you're heading on down there today. Good morning. Another new hat. This is a fashion show. If you are the lucky winner, or you're going to win next week's trip. We need to talk a little vacation etiquette this morning. Well, chances are there's a lot of ladies getting together to go see that movie in the next couple of days. They call it just Ladies' Night Out. Well, you can do it tonight, and there's a holiday to celebrate. It's called Galentine's Day, the day before Valentine's Day.
Well-nourished, the scalp hair is brown, average frame, postmortem changes. Face is cleanly shaven, scars.
7 days a week.
The head and neck are congested.
24 hours a day.
Tattoos.
This medical office is busy.
The name should be John Doe.
Surgeons in scrubs, assistants cleaning wounds, sterilized equipment, cutting, cracking, and clipping. But here, the patients come in with no hope. None of these lives can be saved.
We believe that there is no better honor than having to write that last chapter in somebody's life.
There are no ventral wrist scars, pure tattoos, none.
On several steel tables, autopsies are underway.
There are also Tardieu spots across the forehead.
This one on a 21-year-old woman who was killed in a horrific car crash. 2 tables over, a 27-year-old man found dead in thick brush near the border. For some patients, to get here, something went terribly wrong, and someone was called out to start an investigation.
Paul Parker, medical examiner's office.
This will be medical examiner investigator Paul Parker's 10th year on the job. Here, an illegal immigrant collapsed in a field.
He's got blood from his right ear, dried down to about his eye.
With temperatures well into the 90s, Paul carefully documents the scene.
1 bag or 2.
Then the crew makes their way through waist-high brush.
We have to make sure we don't break our necks getting out of here, though.
To where a man's body lies.
Make sure he doesn't have anything else in his pockets or whatnot.
The man has an inhaler in one hand and several layers of clothes on. He was not carrying any identification.
Obviously going to carry him as a doe for right now.
A body bag is unzipped. The man's ankle is tagged. His fingerprints are rubbed onto a card.
1, 2, 3.
Paul helps carry the man out of the field. He's nearly 6 hours into his workday, and it's only just begun.
Our main concern is trying to figure out who he is now. Head and neck.
2 tables over from the man found near the border.
So far, I know that she has multiple skull fractures.
A medical examiner concentrates on the body of this 21-year-old woman.
See how many injuries she has.
About 1:20 this morning, she was eastbound on Palmarado Road.
In a morning meeting, Paul updates his office on this case. He was on the scene in the middle of the night.
Apparently this car was going pretty fast and lost control and started to spin and then overcorrect and it hit this tree.
Investigators determined the driver was going 93 miles per hour when she veered out of control. The woman's car split into 3 pieces and a portion caught fire. Most of her body was found in the middle of the road. Her Volkswagen Passat's unrecognizable.
If there's any consolation to any of this for the family, it is that she probably didn't feel a thing.
Paul takes several photos of the scene.
You guys seeing any kind of tattoos or anything I may be missing?
After looking over her body, taking notes, and searching for jewelry, piercings, or tattoos, he gently places the blanket back over her.
We always want to treat the decedents with as much respect as possible, and that means covering them and getting them up off the ground and minimizing any kind of exposure.
A passport and the car's registration lead to an address just a mile from the crash site.
Do you ever get used to anything like that? How tough is this?
It's the toughest thing that we do, going to somebody's house, giving them the worst news that they're ever going to hear.
Outside this dark house, Paul leaves his headlights flashing, and in the middle of the night, he knocks on the door of the victim's parents' house.
I'm a peace officer.
Sorry, I had a dog.
That's okay. I need to talk to you. There's been an accident involving your Volkswagen.
Oh my God, it's not my daughter.
It may be.
Is she all right?
If it is your daughter, no.
After several tough minutes inside, Paul helps the couple call relatives and friends.
Death investigation is not about those who have died. It's about those who are still living. It's about providing answers to the next of kin and family members about their loved ones who've died.
Let's do the clothing.
Back inside the autopsy room, surgeons keep their focus on these bodies. Two people who never knew each other, but who ended up here on the same day. Paul's day is complete when he finishes the last chapter in each of their lives, knowing tomorrow there will be more stories to be told.
This is what normally makes or breaks a death investigator. If they can do this and they can separate it and live a normal life, then they're going to be a success in our field.
With just a simple number 2 pencil, Samantha Pasquarella can turn a blank sheet of paper into a work of art.
I've been drawing since I was little, mainly just a natural inclination.
An inclination she turned into a profession, teaching art to high school students. But she never knew this talent would do more than bring paper to life. It would bring an attacker into the spotlight. Ariana is Samantha's daughter, a junior at Steel Canyon High School and a talented athlete.
This is my first cross-country race, my freshman year.
On February 23, 2008, Ariana was alone on a training run in Rancho San Diego. She remembers approaching a man who was leaning against this RV.
As soon as I passed by him, I was literally right next to him, and he whipped around and kind of football tackled me.
He pulled Ariana down the embankment, and she fought back.
As soon as he hit me, it was kind of my iPod flew out of my hand, and I saw it, and I grabbed it, and then as soon as we landed, I started hitting him with it. I was screaming, "No, let me go," and I was yelling.
Somehow, Ariana was able to kick the suspect's gun away and escaped with broken ribs, scratches, and a picture-perfect memory of the man's face.
As a lead investigator, you feel an incredible sense of responsibility to these victims.
Detective Pete Carrillo says an almost identical situation happened 2 days prior in the driveway of a Solana Beach home. A female jogger was raped, and the suspect matched the same description. But to find him, Carrillo needed a sketch, and no artist was available.
Finally said, "Look, I'm an artist. I can do this. Let's just do this."
Samantha got out her pencil, and Ariana recited every detail she could remember.
I would say, "Oh, no, he was like, his face looked more muscular than it was chubby," and she was able to show that.
I wanted it to be accurate, and I was praying the whole time, saying, let this be useful.
With shaping, shading, and intense focus on features, this is Samantha's drawing. And here is a photo of the suspect, Jason Washington.
It was a little scary to kind of see his face just grow on this piece of paper.
For me, as a parent, I got choked up, I'll be honest with you. I remember seeing the mother there, and I watched her drawing, and I was like, wow, this is incredible.
With the drawing and fingerprints found on the RV, investigators had their man. 2 days later, Washington was tracked down and found dead in his SUV from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Meanwhile, Ariana has started moving forward. She speaks with other students about her ordeal and hopes those few frightening moments won't forever be sketched in her mind.
Nothing's blurry or fuzzy. It's all there, and I kind of wish I didn't remember it so well sometimes.